Okay, I'm going to talk about something that drives us all crazy. It's the whole I can't find it theme. And I'm going to talk about filing. Who likes to file? I don't. Well, honestly, I kind of do. I'm one of those weird people that really gets excited to see a great filing system. It makes it easy to file when you have one. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how we can establish a filing system that works for you and can help you develop your company, save you money, and save you time. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to say is that no one filing system is right for every company or every person. The best filing system is what works for you. What ultimately tracks the main thing we're trying to track: what you bought and how you paid for it. That's what everything boils down to. What did you buy and how did you pay for it? So moving forward, you don't have to be very complicated in your filing system. You just have to be very consistent. Consistency is the key here. You can start as small as you want in your company. Say you're just a little independent contractor who is starting to really grow and you just need to keep better track for tax purposes. I'm sure you've used envelopes, and that works. It really is the simplest, but very, very a practical approach to starting a filing system. A couple of envelopes with the categories on them that you want to track. Maybe you're going to track fuel, you're going to track auto expense, you're going to track expenditures for job supplies, you're going to track deposits, and you're just going to throw them in the envelopes and write the categories on them and keep them where you know they are. Again, it goes back to just being consistent. And why that's the easy approach, there are a few better approaches, because at some point you're going to need more information than what those envelopes can provide for you. You're going to want to grow, and you're going to be so busy that just throwing something in an envelope isn't going to give you the reporting capabilities that you need to continue to grow. So just moving into another quick filing system is what we're all used to, is simple folders with categories on them and throwing them in a filing cabinet. That's fine. You just got to remember the two true rules of thumb with folders and files is that they need to be alphabetical and they should be newest to oldest. That's just a rule of thumb. And quite frankly, I can't tell you where that rule of thumb come from. When I was 18 and working in my first office, that's just what I was taught by my superior, and I've seen it several times since in different training. Maybe it's just a rule of thumb, maybe it's just a common sense approach, but that's just the rule of thumb. Newest to oldest. It's been everywhere that I've worked. So as I have established my own filing system for my own company, I found it works best. So moving on from that, you can, like I said, simply get a few file folders and alphabetize them and put them in a drawer. The next step up is start to use categories. By this time, you probably will have established an accounting system or more of a thought to what you're really wanting to track. You can use your accounting system, i.e. QuickBooks, Sage, Xero, Drake, any one of those platforms will have a chart of accounts, and that's a big word. Okay, not really, but it's a big concept. Your chart of accounts is simply a chart that organizes your accounts. So you can use those same accounts on your file folders and alphabetize. Where we get complicated is when we start breaking down into categories, folders, and subfolders. And that's when you've got to be really careful about how you're labeling. And that's the key in all of this, is how you label. It makes perfect sense and makes the job easier if you set down a few minutes before you start designing a filing system, because that's what you're doing. You're designing your filing system. You sit down and actually plan it out on paper. Think about really what makes sense. If you roll into a new opportunity and find that the filing system isn't quite what you're used to, take a few moments and actually get a feel for the business, and then again kind of write down what you would like your files to look like so that you can understand where you're filing your stuff. You can use a combination of files, you can use a combination of folders, you can use a combination of folders, files, and binders. The least complicated for you, the easiest for you to use is the best. You want to keep it in a way that makes sense to you. And then the key to any good filing system is detailed labeling. Because we all think we're going to remember where we put that folder and what color folder we put it in and where we put it. But that isn't the case. 6 months down the road, you go to look for a piece of paper and you can't remember if you put it in auto expenses or travel expenses. Then you spend hours and hours of time looking for it. Been there. So labeling is key. Now, there are a lot of products out there that can help you label. There's a lot of computer programs, Word, Brother. They all have a lot of different systems out there. You need to find which one is your preference. I must admit, and if you go to my blog on my website, you're going to find that I have linked my favorite system ever, which is SMEAD, SMEAD Viewables. If you buy the system right at first, it comes with software that you can load onto your computers and you can just print your labels there. And it is wonderful. They don't use simple little file labels. They actually use the larger address labels for their files and folders. You get the option of making tabs for your categories. You get the option of making a file folder. You get the option of a binder label. And it can just use regular label stock too. You don't have to invest in the SMEAD labels, although they do work best. I love that program. Now, I'm not endorsed by them. They don't even know I exist. But I have loved that program since I walked into it 7 years ago and in a job, and I have taken it with me on my personal journey to opening my own office, and I have introduced it to many, many different offices around the world. The system is just fantastic. It allows you to go so far as to color code, year code, the information you can put on the labels are just great. So yes, I'm highly recommend SMEAD Viewables for an office filing system. I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap up this video. It wasn't meant to be too long. I didn't want to harp on you about filing and so forth. I just wanted to kind of show you or talk to you a little bit more about some different systems out there. I want to stress to you that the time you can save with a good filing system is why you need to invest in setting one up. It can actually eliminate hours and hours of digging. It can eliminate hours and hours of redundant work simply by having a good filing system that you keep up with. The other thing I want to really point out to you is that having a good filing system means you're always ready. Should someone come knocking and insist that they have to audit your finances or audit your records, having a good filing system will help you get through that with a lot less penalties and a lot less time and aggravation. So filing systems can really save you a lot of time and such, saving you a lot of money. Time spent is money. So really take a moment and think about, is your filing system working for you? Or are your receipts strewn all over the truck or car that you just gather up and throw on a desk around tax time and pray you got them all? So if you have questions or you want to delve into this deeper, it's kind of my jam. I love organizing, especially in an office. I love to do labels. I love to set up filing systems. I'm that person. I love a cohesive looking office, which is driving me crazy right now because mine isn't very cohesive. But that's something I'll get to. And so, yeah, if you want to reach out to me, you can go to my website, clebookkeepingsolutions.com. We do far more than bookkeeping and accounting. So reach out and we will gladly talk with you. We can come to your office and look at your systems. We can also just virtually speak with you and get you a system going that won't break the budget and won't cause you a lot of extra time and work. So think about that, and I hope you have a great day.